Tell you what, let's start with a question. Sounds good to me. How exactly do you use Adobe Illustrator? Now, some of you are going to respond by saying, I work a lot with text, and this has got to be one of the best typesetting applications on the planet, and guess what? You'd be right. Others might say, well, I deal a lot with graphic design, like your roses here. I draw that kind of stuff, Andy, in Adobe Illustrator. It's got to be the best program for doing that. You know what? You'd be right again. This program wears a lot of hats. I want to show you two features. One is primarily for those of you that deal with text, and one is for dealing with and manipulating objects. Let's start with text. I'm in the Layout workspace, and the only reason I'm there is so I can get access to my character panel, because this is the button I want to show you, the Touch Type tool. Now, if you don't want to get it here, you can go up to the Type tool here, click and hold, and bring it up right down here. Now, we know how to work with text. If I pick up the regular Type tool and get in here and select something like that word, I can manipulate that word, I can change it, I can retype it, I can change its color, size, kerning, leading, anything I want to do. We know that. So what's different about the Touch Type tool? The Touch Type tool gives us the ability to microcontrol individual characters without breaking them outside of the text they're in. Now let me start by coming over here to my Zoom tool and making that a little bit bigger. Go big or go home. I'm going to come over here and pick up the Touch Type tool. Just click it. Now come over here and choose a letter that you want to manipulate, like the T in that. It selects just that one letter. You have controls on the corners and at the top up here. For example, if I come up to the top and drag, I can change its rotation, but check out what's happening. This is where the power is. It's pushing the text to compensate for what I'm doing. It gives me total control. Let me undo that and take it back. I love undo. These buttons, all four, do different things. If I go to this one right here and click it and drag it, it gives me vertical scale. If I click this one, I go proportional, vertically and horizontally. If I click this one down here, I have horizontal scale. And if I click this one, I can change its baseline. Now, once you have that character selected, if I want to, I can come over here and change its color. I can change the font that I'm using. I can do anything I want to that individual character. But when I go back and select my regular Type tool and come over here and select that text, it is still a part of that word and it's still a part of that sentence. Total control over that text using the Touch Type tool. That's pretty cool. Now, let me take this back down so we can see the whole thing for a second. And let me come up here and pick up my selection tool. I'm going to select this box going around here right now. How about those of you that deal with objects and you want to manipulate the objects? I have the box selected. I'm going to come over here and pick up this tool, which is our free transform tool. Now when you do, you get this box that comes up automatically. You can move it around if you want to. The first area up here is constrain, and this one down here is a free transform. So if I leave constrain on for a minute and come over here and grab a corner and drag, it is increasing its width and height proportionately. If I come over here, I can either go up and down with it, or, check it out, I can go left and right. So I'm making kind of like, I suppose, a parallelogram if I do that. Just like that. Let me undo that and start all over. If I turn off constrain and come back over to a corner, I could rotate the box if I want to. I can come over to this one right here again and begin moving it around. If I turn now on this one right here called perspective, let me go ahead and undo what we've done. I go to a corner and just basically do this, and I can change the perspective of the box, kind of like you're looking at a road sign going down the road. And finally, you have this one right here, which is free distort, which means anything goes. I can go to any corner that I want and begin changing to whatever I want it to be. Even rotate it. total control over text and total control over manipulation of an object. Two features in Adobe Illustrator that I find quite valuable.